All right, welcome to Economics, everybody. It usually is the at-home edition, but I am actually in my office at work doing a couple little quick things before I run back out into quarantine. But Brian's here, John's here. John is eating lunch. Bobby is somewhere.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. He'll return.
And Mark, it sounded like you said welcome to Economics.
I think Economics.
You said Eat-onomics.
Oh, it might be bad signal.
Eat-onomics.
It might be Economics. We need it on our show.
Oh boy. I'm gonna mute John.
Let's see if fun begins.
All right, I'm muting John. John has been muted.
Yeah.
Okay. So
other news, as have Facebook on in the background because I'm on a bigger screen than I usually am.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan right now is living from the Zombie Hideout, his first day at the Zombie Hideout.
Oh yeah, that's something we didn't talk about last week.
Yeah.
Our friend Matt Ryan from Free Lunch Studios, which is a local artist, and he does a lot of work from the community and a lot of stuff for kids and adults.
Yes.
Mark, explain where he moved to. His studio is now.
Well, he had a studio. His studio was in Tariffville, but with the whole COVID situation and everything like that, he decided to close up that shop, the spot he had there, because he couldn't have anyone in this at the time.
It wasn't safe.
It wasn't safe, and it wasn't going to be safe because the space he had wasn't big enough to have more than 2 or 3 people in it with the spreading out of the regulations and everything. So our other friend, Bill Bullock, who owns the Zombie Hideout in the Eastfield Mall, was offered space to expand his store. He was able to move in, take over the store right next to where he was located. They cut a hole in the wall so he could expand the store. And in that space was a whole bunch of back store space. And he offered it up to Matt Ryan to move Free Lunch Studios up there. So Matt Ryan now is doing Free Lunch Studios out of the Eastfield Mall. And he has a small office space in Granby to do like one-on-one stuff and for him to just work on stuff when he needs to. So,
now, is the mall even open?
Mall open today.
The mall officially opened today. Okay.
Today's the first day of the mall reopening.
So here's the other thing. He doesn't have an entrance outside. So if the mall...
You have to go through the Zombie Hideout to get to it.
Right. So if the mall closes again, then he's stuck?
No, there's still an entrance for, Bill was still doing stuff. They were doing, sidewalk pickup stuff, and there's a way to get...
Right.
There's a service hallway to get to the store, like a fire exit kind of situation.
That's cool. And
so they're using that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Matt is going to do his best, Free Lunch Studios on Facebook, if you want to get to art or Dungeons and Dragons or any of that stuff and you need something to do, he's actually putting on a 3-week summer camp,
summer drawing camp for kids in the next month or so. So check out the Free Lunch Comics Facebook page for that. He also does Mondays. He does Backerboard Blitz at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which will be what he's starting right now, since we're recording at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Where he draws on the backerboards of comic books, and then he is selling them off. You can bid for them. He's doing different characters and stuff. So I've gotten a couple Darth Vader versions and stuff like that. So yeah, so he's got that going on, and he's got he's doing all of his classes he usually would do at his studio virtually, like Monday Night Jams, painting and drawing for teens, his sequential arts class. Everything's basically virtual right now, so be sure to check out the Free Lunch Comics Facebook page.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. because
I mean,
we got to help out the local guys because they're not able to do what they usually would do.
yeah, if they even make it through this, it's tough.
So besides Zombie Hideout, you're saying Matt's Sports is back open, right? Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week. They opened up last week, and so did Most Excellent opened, Matt's opened. You got to go and wear a mask.
Yeah.
Certain you can't digging through lock boxes. You can't do that. But still, they're open. And
So much noise coming from John's area.
I know. What's going on over there?
Loud lunch. He's got
loud lunch.
Loud lunch.
Loud lunch.
Yes.
My son's eating too, so it's double hour.
Ooh, there's a bunch of random people talking.
I know.
Is John watching like some random channel on TV?
Sounds like a telemundo.
No, that's Tyke's grandmother.
Eating. He's eating.
It's lunchtime, so he's Tyke's eating too.
He's zooming?
What?
Your baby zooms?
Of course he zooms.
Wow. Start them early nowadays. Look at that. It's a zooming baby.
Adorable.
Yeah. The thing that keeps John attractive is that kid.
In my hair.
And that Mountain Dew shirt.
And the Mountain Dew shirt. And that hair.
Yeah.
That's the hair only a mother can love right there, let me tell you.
All right. Well, I might mute you, John, just
When you're
we're gonna mute you. Hold on. Okay. So this is what happens. Mark, John, we'll go last on this. I don't know if it's changed, but I have a few things that I've watched or done this week I like to talk about. Anything that you have?
Actually, from the topic that we're going to talk about at the end of the show, I rewatched the 3 movies that I'm going to talk about, just so I have some background on them. Besides that, just
Anything beyond that? Anything?
Yes, I'm talking about, and beyond that, just preparing to like redoing my man room to be able to put an edit computer in it.
Oh yeah,
a lot of just the redecorating and moving things around and trying to find space for everything.
I know it's fun.
Yeah.
Fun working from home.
Yeah. The main thing for doing it is because my wife wants her laptop back.
Oh, you're using Claire's what?
I have been using her laptop since March.
Oh, geez.
And so she's like, when she's home, she's like, I'd like to be able to use my laptop. I'm like, well, I have to do work. So it was more
you're like, I have to Zoom with the boys.
Well, she's usually working on Mondays, so I've been able to get away with it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I bet I see a dog butt. A dog butt. Dog butt. All right. Well, John, we'll let you go last. Me and Mark will say ours real quick. 3 things I got. I finally finished Ash versus the Evil Dead. Hence my back. Quarantine started, and I own all 3 seasons. And I was just like, I'm going to start from the beginning again. In the very beginning of quarantine, on my lunch break, I would sit in my living room, eat my lunch, and watch Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I'm not moving in my office. Lights are down.
Mark's in the dark. It kind of looked like you were doing the
That's what happens.
The Zumba dance or whatever that was.
I have to. Lucky waving inflatable 2-man dance.
Oh, you should have that going, and then it won't go. There you go.
I'll leave it going in the background so that way the lights don't.
Oh no, it makes a lot of noise though. Turn that off. Okay. So I finally watched season 3, and holy mackerel, the ending was unbelievable. I did not expect it, and now I see why people were upset there was no season 4. But at the same time, I'm like, how they ended Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
We went to medieval times, and they gave us a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Army of Darkness. Yeah.
Army of Darkness.
My favorite one.
Season 3 ends in somewhat of a he wakes up in a post-apocalyptic world. I can't say that word.
You never can.
You know, and it is like unbelievably cool, Mad Max style. And you're like, what the frick? And that's it. And it would be great if they did a movie.
Yeah.
From that bit, I don't know, or just let it be.
He's getting pretty old, isn't he? He's like almost 60 or something.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still kicked ass. I mean, it was still cool. It was a great 3-season run. That final season was amazing. I did check out the I think it was Olivia Wilde directed and written Booksmart.
Yes.
Good,
yeah, I did look into
funny.
that. Yeah.
So it's on Hulu if you need something to watch. It's a fun hour and a half. I had 2 sets of minds. I enjoyed it because it's like the end. It's like, we're graduating high school. We got to go do the one big thing. You know, we were like the smart kids. We've got to have fun. And it brings you back to that time when you were in high school. But at the same time, I felt old because I'm a 40-year-old man and the music was so current. You didn't
know any of it.
I didn't know any of it. And it made me feel old, but I still enjoyed it. It had a lot of SNL alums in it. Very entertaining, very funny. But it just made me feel a little bit old. And then I started playing Devil May Cry 5, which is unbelievable, awesome. Like, graphics are fucking superb. But
Devil May Cry or Far Cry?
Devil May Cry.
Oh, okay.
5. It's I played 1 and 2, but 5, holy smokes, it's so much fun. Just a fighting game.
Yeah.
And like, wow. A lot of fun with that game. But that's what I've been doing. John, I will unmute you. I unmuted you, but you're still muted. What have you been up to this week, John? Anything? Anything worth noting?
Homework, the usual. Playing some COD with Jeremy and Dan. Actually been watching a Indian zombie series that's subtitled. No, actually, I think it might be dubbed from Hindi. But it's like these Indian soldiers going and working on this construction project, and they find some like ancient evil that creates these zombie-like creatures. It's very interesting because the zombies are more than just like there's an intelligence to them. So they have like British colonial soldiers firing at them with muskets because they've been like in this cave for like centuries or however long.
What's this?
But it's Netflix. It's one of their like Netflix original shows from different regions.
Yeah.
Like
So
the Thor show that they have.
It's a show, right? Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
What's the name of it again?
Betal, Betaal.
Batal. Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
And Brian, that gray is really invasive all of a sudden.
What?
That gray's taking over.
Yeah, baby. I love it.
Wow. I noticed it till you turn your head sideways.
Like that?
You got a little skunk action going there, a little Two-Face. Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face going on there.
See, what I was telling him before the podcast showed up, he should go like Key from Key and Peele and Key, and just keep the beard, but shave everything above. I think it would be an awesome look.
But he has like the very like Pompadour type hair to go in now.
Well, I got to get a haircut. Matt,
yeah, but if he took that off.
They had the wife do it. Can't you tell? There's like one spot here where she like totally down to the skin almost.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the guard fell off right when she about to start. And she's like, oh, okay. I was like, that's definitely needs something wrong there.
That sucks.
But it's quarantine, baby. So, you know.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Better than having really long hair like John's.
Well, all our hair is getting long. I love John's hair. It's great.
Yeah.
It looks
My
like
hair is awesome.
You just woke up.
I can't live with long hair. I don't know what you guys. I get like a super itchy around my neck.
I don't like this hair in the summertime. Like
Yeah.
if it was winter, I wouldn't care. But like when it starts getting hot out, it bothers.
Yeah, I was like mowing a lawn and like you get like the sweat piling up on your neck. I was like,
yeah. It's
He's like, oh, I used to. She's like, I have clippers, I can cut it. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
You should go bald, Mark.
No.
You'll make the kingpin if you went bald.
I would look like an egg if I went bald. An upside down egg.
That would be awesome. That would be.
No, it wouldn't be.
It is. We should all do it.
Very bumpy skull on the top of this head.
So Mark.
Keep all our beards.
Yeah, what if we all shave next show? We're all bald, but just beards.
Yeah, my wife would leave me. I'm pretty sure all of yours would too.
We are the bald, bearded men.
The bald single men
The
living in like
bald, bearded
our
single
parents'
men.
houses again because they nowhere else to live.
Um,
Live in one apartment together because we couldn't live anywhere else.
That's a great sitcom. The bald, bearded men. The
Three-
single bald,
Three
bearded
bald men in
men
an apartment.
in an apartment. Yeah, I like it. We should do it. NBC's new Thursday night.
Coming to
That's it.
ABC this summer.
Come to CBS All Access.
Three bald men in an apartment.
Bald men in an apartment.
Hey, it can't be worse than Ultimate Tag.
That's a thing?
Yeah, it is.
You watch that?
I flipped through and came across it and tried to like give it like see what it was about.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's just people, just adults playing tag.
Mark, segue right into the sports. What do we got? Speaking of sports, any big news this week?
Basketball has decided they're coming back
Yeah.
July 31st. They're going to start playing in Orlando, Disney. Baseball's still trying to figure out how the world works.
I think, honestly, I'll tell you the truth. Does anybody even care about baseball right now? Like,
I mean, I got Korean baseball, so I'm fine. I can watch that.
but I mean, I feel like at this point, we don't have baseball. I feel like the world would be fine without baseball until next year.
Yeah.
Like, just.
Yeah, hockey's coming back, I think, this month. I think. Next month.
Baseball was America's pastime, but I think
The main part of that sentence is pastime.
right. Yeah, I mean, I think football people are more excited by football than any.
I love baseball, but I don't know. It's just I don't know what their problem is.
Yeah, and that's a lot of players to test, right? For baseball,
Well, that's not even the issue. The issue is the
where to play it.
players are all like want to get paid for a whole season, but with only playing like 70, 80 games, they want to get paid for 162 games. And owners are like, no, I'm not paying you all that money when you're only working for half of it.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I muted you, John, just so you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. NFL news. I know this morning, Roger Goodell finally grew a pair of balls, and
Actually, it was yesterday. But
whatever. I like I said, I don't watch the news over the weekend, so to me, it happened today.
Yeah.
He's supporting his players.
I mean, only after like a huge group of African American players or black players, whatever way you want to call them, made a video saying Black Lives Matter and making a little video. Then all of a sudden, Roger Goodell decided to back all the players that he's been telling not to protest or anything. So,
well, he has no choice.
good to see he finally, wisened up to it. But of course, the fearless leaders already complained and said that he's going to close NFL because they're not going to salute the flag and
nobody cares what our president
all
says.
that.
I don't care, and neither should Roger Goodell, and neither should anybody at this point.
Neither should anybody at this point.
It's white noise.
Just ignore.
The way
Just let
I'm
him sit in his
concerned,
little room till November and then
Right.
pack his stuff and send him home.
we don't have a president until we have another president right now.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
nobody in office. There's nobody. It's an autopilot, and let's just get through it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that Roger Goodell did that. Needless to say, what his reasonings behind closed doors are, I don't care.
Yeah.
Happy he's supporting his players because that's what you want to see, leadership of some kind.
Yeah, the Another news like that, the president of NASCAR at their race yesterday, they stopped all their cars on the front stretch right before the race started. And he gave a speech to all the drivers as they're in their cars and live to the television audience saying that, NASCAR knows they can do better and he knows the country can do better. And NASCAR is gonna, they know that they're known as the Southern guys, racing around racetracks,
Right.
but they're gonna do better to be more inclusive and work towards, getting more than one driver that's a minority in the series, basically.
It's just being nice to other humans. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that hard. It's not that
It's not.
hard. So I think that's great. I think that's great to hear them say that. And, I think the NFL was the big one. And because that was the one that caused so much controversy.
Yeah.
When you had a peaceful protest, that was like peaceful protest that people were complaining about. And now, years later, we have a massive...
It's crazy how things have changed in 3 years. It's like 3 years ago. Sponsors that now, if they were to say something like that, would be in a business are the reasoning why he's no longer playing the game. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
But anyway.
Not getting down that road.
That's good news, I think, in the sports world. Nonetheless, that's all great news. And, like the world, sometimes you need to blow things up to repair it. And that's what's happening right now. Like, you ever go into a room and you're like, I got to redecorate this room. And you just pull everything out and it's a big fucking mess. That's what's going on right now. You got to redesign that room, make it a big fucking mess, and then clean it back up. And who knows what's going to happen, right? It could come out better than it was before. That's what we all hope.
Yeah.
And I think John Oliver, Bobby was on, but John Oliver did a great
last night. His police story was fantastic.
And for all the people who are on the fence or don't really understand when people say defunding the police departments, I think that's a great educational piece that you can watch that would educate someone more about what that means.
Yeah, he's like adult Sesame Street.
Yeah,
John Oliver.
And you have Sesame Street on HBO.
Yeah.
And I love HBO Max.
Yeah, and then they just did a town hall, the Sesame Street on CNN on Saturday, I believe, where they had the Sesame Street characters talking to kids that could call in and ask questions about things. And
oh wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the entertainment world, not much has happened. I know movie theaters are going to be opening in the beginning of Phase 2, which is
I think it's the 17th.
Yeah.
Tenet released a new trailer.
I know that's the one movie I would see in the theater, but I still doubt if I want to go to the theater.
But you want go to a drive-in. They'll have them drive-ins.
Yeah. Speaking of drive-ins, Mark, The Wretched passes $1 million after a strong drive-in theater buzz, which is crazy. That this small little indie film that came out last year, and it launched on May 1st at just 11 drive-ins, and it has expanded to 42 more locations and is past 1 million, which is really cool.
It's the thing to invest in. If you're looking for something to invest in, movie theaters, drive-in movie theaters.
Drive-in.
Where to put your money in.
Right. No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys.
I've heard like a bunch of high schools are doing drive-in graduations.
Yeah.
Ellington's doing it at Mansfield. Enfield High, I think, is doing one in Mansfield. A whole bunch of different high schools in the area are going to Mansfield and doing the drive-in graduation ceremonies. A friend of mine who runs a wrestling company here in Enfield is looking into doing a show at a drive-in wrestling show. So there's going to be drive-ins are the old wave that's come back, the new wave of the future.
We're saving the drive-ins, baby. We're
Yeah.
saving the
They
drive-ins.
start popping up all over the place.
Mansfield is they're airing a lot of older films.
Yeah, until stuff starts coming out.
Yeah, because they haven't really released a lot of these movies that were supposed to come out in the theater are all coming to VOD. The Pete Davidson film that comes out this Friday,
Yeah.
King of Staten Island, which looks really good.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow, will be out this Friday on VOD.
Yeah.
So it's great because I'm like, I'll rent it at home. I don't have to go to the theater.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that a lot of these movies aren't now like thinking like, oh, I can jump on the drive-in situation as well. I can do the home release and the drive-in release. That'd be the
Maybe
way
they
I
can.
would do it if it was me. But.
Yeah. I love Christopher Nolan films in the theater. He's like up there with Quentin Tarantino for me. I got to see the big screen, and seeing an IMAX is like the best. But I might wait. I don't know. It just depends. Because AMC theaters are not making people wear masks because they want to sell concession.
Yeah.
Because that's where they make their money.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about that. So
what if we just rent the theater for us to watch it?
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I was saying.
who's going to rent a theater?
It's not that expensive to rent a theater.
For a top?
No, I have one movie viewing at Agawam that I bought in an effort for fundraising for the Agawam theaters.
Yeah.
Well, but what kind of movie? Like any
Whatever movie is currently in the theater or any DVD we want.
Yeah.
And I can bring 25 people.
That's pretty cool. Well, you keep us posted, John. I'm saying for
I'd
me
be down for that.
to go.
I know. I think I gotta double check with Claire, but I think she had mentioned that she looked into that for my 40th.
Yeah, they keep selling them. They're like bidding them. They're bidding like one almost every weekend, in an effort to stay
They
salvaged.
got no money coming in, especially Agawam, because they're mom and pop kind of theater.
Oh yeah, Agawam's a little one. Yeah.
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 But,
to go in a theater with a bunch of strangers without a mask on, nobody, because they want to eat popcorn is, I don't know, weird.
Yeah.
No, you don't even have to wear clothes. You can just go in there all natural, Brian. It's all ours.
we
roll ourselves in butter and
bring in the
popcorn.
breeze without your BVDs.
Woo! I don't know. There's not much news. I feel like we should jump into the topic of today.
Okay.
Today's topic is underrated films that we're bringing to the attention that might have kind of came out, disappeared. Maybe not a lot of people saw it or know about it.
Yeah.
But here's our opportunity to give you 9 films that could be worth seeking out that you might never have heard of, I think.
Yeah, or you might have heard of them and forgot about them.
Right.
You could give it another chance and watch it again.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
We want me to go first?
Why not, Brian? You know you're itching.
Ooh.
This Weezer documentary that I saw once was fantastic. You should watch it.
Oh, yes.
The River Cuomo story.
Oh.
If you watch very closely, you can see the tip of his penis when he turns around.
Yes.
Getting weird. It's getting weird.
You can continue, Brian.
All right. I'm gonna go in no order other than the oldest to the newest. That's my order for this.
Okay.
One of my favorite films from 1998. It is a German film. It is about a woman and her woman. It's about a woman and her boyfriend and a botched money delivery. And they have 20 minutes to come up with the money. And the movie, if you've never seen it before, I don't want to ruin it because it's very music driven. It's awesome editing. It's Run, Lola, Run.
Ooh, you got that from Bob Burnquist.
No,
You didn't have to watch that in his class? You
No.
take every one of his TV classes?
No, I didn't watch
Back
it.
when I took his TV classes, when we did Intro to Mass Communications, when I took that class with him, he would always show that movie to everybody.
It's a fantastic fucking film.
Like, if you need to know how like mass media, like he was all about that movie. He loved it.
Me and Eric bought this on a whim at Media Play on Tuesday.
It's a great flick.
Comes out on Tuesday. You know, movies came out on Tuesdays, and we saw it and bought it and fucking loved it. And
The hot chick on the cover, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing movie. Like the editing is just crazy. It's very old MTV style.
Yes.
Because a lot of editing to the music. The soundtrack's amazing. It's a movie I think about all the time, and it came out, made a little splash. It's a German film. It's subtitled. There is dubbing. You can watch the dub. It's a dub version.
Yeah.
Or you can watch it with the subtitles. But it's like it made a splash in the indie film, and then it kind of disappeared. You know, I don't even know. I think you can stream it. I'm sure.
Probably.
But, I don't even want to ruin it because it's a fun movie and you go in blind. I think is the best way to enjoy it.
Like Hardcore Harry kind of like stole a lot of stuff from Run Lola Run, like the cutting and way it was edited and stuff. It was very.
I liked Hardcore Harry.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah,
that was a good movie. All right, Mark, we'll go to you next. What do you got?
All right, my first one is from 1985. It is a classic I've mentioned many times on the show, but I think it needs to be mentioned again because it came out August of 1985. It's only an hour and 48 minutes. It's starring the one and only Val Kilmer. It's Real Genius.
Ooh, yeah. You're right. That movie has kind of it's is it a cult classic? I mean,
it's almost around that area. It's got William Atherton from Ghostbusters fame.
Yeah.
Penis Breath. Again, plays a schmarmy guy in it, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. He's always plays a schmarmy guy. A lot of like Val Kilmer is basically like the only major actor in it. Besides
that's before he became big. That was like in the beginning.
It was before Top Gun. It was before all those movies. This was like I would say one of his first movies, if not his first movie.
Right.
I don't know exactly, but no, it's classic. We watched. It was on Sundance yesterday, actually, and Claire had not seen it in forever, and so it's like we're watching Real Genius. It's on. We're watching this movie, and she was laughing like it was like it still holds up. It's still funny. The one-liners in it are classic. There's a whole bunch. It's
Real Genius.
Like the beginning of like the teenage like comedies, like in that time frame, like the John Hughes era was just starting. So it was like in that kind of Martha Coolidge directed it. So yeah, Real Genius. It's a great movie. It's all about like Val Kilmer's like a prodigy, but it's like kind of like the slacker kind of prodigy. They're all trying like, and this new hot kid comes in. He's like 15 years old, the new hot prodigy kid, and it's all about like them like trying to develop a high-powered laser, and there's some stuff in there you gotta like. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but stuff happens with a laser that they weren't expecting to happen with a laser, and
he becomes magnetic, right? Is that what I'm remembering?
No.
What's that movie? When everything starts sticking to him?
It's a different movie.
Oh, that wasn't Real Genius?
No.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
That's not Real Genius?
No.
I gotta Google this.
Okay. Well, Google it some other time.
All right. That's a good pick. It's a good pick, Mark.
Real Genius. Great flick.
Real Genius.
It'll, it warms your heart. It's a very good movie. It's very laid back, casual, fun comedy. John, what's your first one?
It was very casual and comedic. So I'm not going back as far as Mr. Mark. I guess not as far as Bryon either. Mine are all moderately recent. So one of my favorite films, and I kind of found in a similar way to Bryon, where I don't remember where I saw it first, but I think it was on DVD. I don't really remember watching it or even seeing it in theaters, and it was In Bruges.
Great flick.
Oh yeah.
And
flick.
It's an
Colin
intellectual.
Farrell. Oh man.
Is like an intellectual film with a lot of different ways of looking at the story that may not be as straightforward and literal. It was funny as hell. It really made me like Colin Farrell a little more. Gave him a little more depth. A lot of his movies don't necessarily. Earlier movies give him a lot of opportunity to shine. But I felt like after that, I gave him a new appreciation. Watched some of his other films with a little more depth into his acting style. But
his like sidekick guy in that movie was really good too.
Oh yeah, they had that like kind of buddy.
They had a great banter
relationship, and even the the foil, whether it be the girl in his life that was trying to use him, but then really loves him, and then the other guy back at home who comes and then gets pulled into this moral dilemma as well. And I thought overall it was a fantastic movie, and if you haven't watched it, I recommend it.
Yeah, very very well done, very well written, great flick. Bobby, we're doing the 3 movies that we think are underrated that people should watch during quarantine.
Oh my God! What movie did I just?
Wow, your internet is awful right now.
Are you in a time zone?
You're like in a time warp or something.
Time warp?
You're in a
No.
You're in a divergence.
That scary idiot. I got. How was that? Was that good?
Still awful.
All right, real quick. Osmosis Jones. Osmosis Jones is
Osmosis Jones. Yeah,
because it's about. Hell yeah, that's a great one. Is that any better?
No, but it's getting there.
Yeah, you're getting better.
Tell you what, guys. I love you all very, very much. Everyone, be safe. Okay.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
You as well, Bendito.
He's like frozen in time.
Yeah, he's like frozen in time there.
He's just there.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
Dropped Osmosis Jones and left.
There you go. That's all you need.
Osmosis Jones and out.
I'm out of here.
Osmosis Jones was Inside Out before Inside Out was Inside Out.
Right.
Whatever that's supposed to mean.
I'll have to.
Inside Out. It's a Pixar movie. It was like Osmosis Jones is all like takes place inside your body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Osmosis. I learned by osmosis.
Yes.
So I'll go to my second pick. This is a film that Numero dos. Nobody really talks about this when it comes to one of my favorite people of all time, Kevin Smith.
No one talks about this as one of your favorite movies.
Nobody talks about this movie. And I think it's like one of his most underrated.
No one ever talks about how good this movie is for me. How much I like this movie. I don't know why.
Nobody talks about this film. It's like his
everyone talks about how no one talks about this movie.
Yeah.
If you say Jersey Girl, you're banned from the podcast.
Let me start over. One of the most underrated films by Kevin Smith, and I think probably one of my favorites because it does not take place in his universe at all.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey Girl.
No, it's the one-off. It is violent. It is not funny. It is Red State. It is unbelievably good. And like Michael Parks, fucking phenomenal job in this film. It got snubbed when it came to the Spirit Awards. I think Michael Parks should have been nominated, and Melissa Leo is in this.
Yeah.
Michael Parks is phenomenal, and it is unlike any Kevin Smith film you've ever seen, like it is super violent. It is super like there was just like something in him that he needs to get out, and this was it. I only have one problem with the film, but beyond that, I was blown away by it. Just how different and weird out there it was.
Yeah.
And I think it's like in his filmography, it's like nobody talks about it. You know, you talk about the Kevin Smith stuff, you talk about the fun stuff, but the film always gets left off that conversation. And I recommend anybody seeing it. It's not for everybody. It is violent. It is very interesting. I think it's another film you go into blind. It doesn't
you don't want to
watch a trailer. And you know what though? Jersey Girl is fucking phenomenal and makes me cry every time. And that's probably one of the best George Carlin performances we'll ever get before he died.
So there you go.
But it was like George Carlin at the top. Like the character he gave him was perfect, and the way he presented that
movie got cursed by the Bennifer.
Yeah, but she dies in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
she's not even in it. She dies.
It was like right after Gigli or Roundup.
Yeah. I mean, the Gigli thing.
That
really
rub on it.
Right. But Jersey Girl's amazing. But anyway, Red State is my second film. Mark.
All right.
With an honorable mention to Jersey Girl.
Yeah. My second film is from 1996. It's actually Claire's favorite movie, or one of Claire's favorite movies of all time. Yes, number 2. But it's got like a cast that is like ridiculous. Matt Dillon's in it. Timothy Hutton plays the main character. It's directed by Ted Demme. Noah Emmerich's in it. Also, let me see. Lauren Holly plays a character in it. Rosie O'Donnell's in it.
What movie is it?
This movie also has
straight up reading that off the monitor.
I got reading up IMDb. Yeah,
but
I don't remember all the people's names.
What movie?
But Natalie Portman is also in it, and the movie is called Beautiful Girls. It's a story about.
But this is
it's like it came around the same time as Grosse Point Blank.
Right.
With, like, the reunion stuff's going on. Like this was like Timothy Hutton's character comes back to his old neighborhood to see his friends and all that stuff, and it's all about how like you go back like after you leave a friend group and how all their lives have changed, but you guys are still all friends together, and how you're like trying to balance being an adult and still be friends with everybody at the same time.
Right.
And it's like some of them have kids, some of them are still single, some of them are kind of stuck in one place or another. But it's really great film. It's very well done. Ted Demme is a great director. Unfortunately, he passed away too early. But yeah, so Beautiful Girls, I would say, if you're looking for an Uma Thurman plays a part in it. It's like one of her first movies ever, and she is ooh la la Uma Thurman. Yeah, ooh la la.
Ooh la la Uma Thurman. I like that. Yes. Hey, is this ooh la la Uma Thurman?
Yes.
It is ooh la la. You know, some people say after Christ and before Christ. Now I think we have a new way to determine how time works. We will now use the phrase, is this before ooh la la Thurman or after ooh la la Thurman?
Exactly. That's what you should do. But
so were you born before ooh la la Thurman?
I was born before ooh la la Thurman.
People are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Ooh la la Thurman?
Yeah. But no, she plays a part in it, and she's like,
ooh la la.
We're like, yeah, it's really good. I don't want to ruin it for you because she just plays like the local
ooh la la girl.
She's just really good at it.
She's really good at being ooh la la.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm picturing it, and boy, my ooh la las are all over the place.
Well, I know how much you love Uma Thurman, Brian. So shut up.
I do like Uma Thurman. Yeah. She's an amazing person.
Like I turn the lights off.
Mark's in the dark. Mark, what are you doing in the dark?
Ooh la la, Uma Thurman.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la, Uma Thurman. John, what do you got? Does this movie take place before or after Ooh la la Thurman?
is Ulla Thurman. That's got to be in the 80s as well, right?
96.
96.
90s. Oh wow. Yeah, it's after.
Okay.
So this is kind of like a transition between two films, which kind of like I feel like they build upon each other. So I know Bryan is a big fan of Shane Black's work.
Yeah, I like Shane Black. Yep.
Like I liked Iron Man 3. It wasn't. I didn't like it as much as some other people. And then he kind of dropped the ball with Predators. But his other movies that he worked on directing, we all know he's written a lot of classics like the Lethal Weapon series.
Right.
But when he started directing, he started with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yes, he did.
Which I thought was a beautiful start and an excellent comedy with a lot of soul. I think it was really underrated. I don't really ever remember it in the theaters so much.
Right.
But I think he continued that transition into another film as he became more famous that I think came out after Iron Man, which was Mr. Nice Guys.
Yes.
It was also an absolutely great comedy with a lot of like the buddy cop kind of feel to it.
Great
but
movie.
One of my
with
favorite
much
Russell
more
Crowe movies.
interesting characters than Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Right. Oh God.
Movies I wish they'd make more of. Like
that movie came out in like a lackluster year.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of my favorite movies of that summer. And Ryan Gosling was awesome.
Yeah, it actually made me want to like Ryan Gosling.
He's awesome.
I like him. He's great in so many films.
Yeah.
He's got such a wide range. I think he got like pigeoned in this romantic thing because of the Notebook in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
But he has such other great appearances.
And the Mickey Mouse Club, all that stuff.
I didn't.
We had no idea about that.
Pay attention to the Mickey.
He was on the same time as all the big wigs are on Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, but I never watched it.
Yeah, we don't care. Nobody cares about Mickey
Mouse. They were in Mickey Mouse. I'm like, okay. But that would be my second choice.
And my favorite, that move, I mean, the comic timing between those two is just really perfect. They really did a great job. The writing and those two were really great.
Well, it's so great because neither of them are really known as comedy actors. Either him or Russell Crowe. Yeah. But they nail it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russell Crowe played a great, old-timey, old end-of-the-career guy. It was just great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Along the lines of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like that same kind of vibe, the two of them, between DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Like Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe had that same kind of dynamic, that kind of banter. Like, jabby, one-liney stuff. Which is really good.
Yeah, maybe.
Per second. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely check it out. Either films. I think Mr. Nice Guy showed definitely
the Nice Guys?
Yeah, Nice Guys.
Yeah, not Mr. Nice Guys.
Wow. Whatever. There's no Mr. in there, but the Nice Guys.
It's a whole different movie. Don't watch that one.
Yeah, I think they kind of showed a little more maturity in his directing style from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was kind of like his start in that direction because he has a definite style. Didn't translate well to Predators, but I think in the movies where he's given complete control over the property, I think he shines even better.
I like it. I like it. Great pick, John. All right, we're going to the last round. Here we go.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. Woo! Bobby's going to show up and just yell out a name and disappear into the vortex.
Random. Iron Giant. He's going to scream that.
Iron Giant. Ah!
There's a movie, just a throw out, just a movie that people should check out if you don't know anything about it.
That's your third pick?
No. This Bobby, I'm just going to line of Osmosis Jones.
Yeah.
A cartoon.
I'm going to go with a film that I first I didn't even know this movie existed until it was on HBO, maybe in 2014. This movie came out in 2013. It's about three teenage friends, an ultimate act of independence, decide to spend their summer building a house in the woods and living off the land. And I don't know why I watched this film, and something about it was just, it's a great coming of age story. The Kings of Summer. I don't think I never heard about it.
Never even know anything about it.
Right. This is why it's a great film. It's an indie film. And it's timeless because there's no indication about when this takes place. You know it's present day, but
Yeah.
the soundtrack is not boisterous. Like, it's not indicating this is a 90s movie. It's like a movie you could watch at any point. And the acting by all the kids are great. Nick Offerman is in it. I think he might have had something to do with it. There are few celebrity cameos. But ultimately, it's a kid. He likes a girl. He likes a girl, and he's trying to impress her. So he's a teenager. So he's got these emotions. So he's
How old is he?
He's a teenager. I don't know. And they go and build a house in the summertime out in the woods, and he's like, and they just disappear. And the parents don't know where the kids went. And they're looking for them, and they're living in this house they built, and they're living off the land. So it's like the kids are trying to catch rabbits or possums, and they can't do it, but they need to live. And then he invites this girl over because he draws a mustache on, so he looks older. I don't know. It's a great coming of age story. It's got a lot of heart. It's a great film. Seek it out. The Kings of Summer. It's a great summer movie, actually.
There you go.
It might bring you back to your childhood. I don't know. Maybe just, I don't know. It's a great movie. All right, Mark. What do you got?
My fellow movie is, I think, a movie we all might have seen together. I know Bryon and I definitely saw it together in the theater. But
Probably.
This movie came out in 2009. In the summer of 1987, a college graduate takes a nowhere job at his local amusement park, only to find out it's the perfect course to get him prepared for the real world. That film is Adventureland.
I saw that with Allison in the theater.
I think we saw it together too. I want to say.
I don't think so. I've only seen it once. Is that the one?
Mistaken, but that's fine.
No, Adventureland. Kristen Stewart's in it.
The time you spent so close, huddled up with Mark.
Yeah.
Is Kristen Stewart in this?
Kristen Stewart, Jesse Eisenberg, Ryan Reynolds.
Right. I saw that in the theater with Allison.
Oh, okay. Well, I know I saw it with somebody. I can't remember who I saw it with.
Yeah. It was a good movie. Yeah. They market it as a comedy, and it's really not a comedy.
It's a comedy. It's like a dark comedy. It's comedy. It's not like it's laugh out loud kind of comedy. It's kind of like almost in the Waiting vein of comedy. It's like not like
subtle. It's subtle
comedy.
Like, I think right around that movie came out, if I'm mistaken, you had the hangovers and all that stuff was happening, and everything was marketed as in-your-face comedy. And I think they didn't know how to market that movie, and it was there were the drama aspect to it.
And the romance between like the triangle there of
it's
Kristen Stewart, Ryan Reynolds.
Finding humor in life. It's not like, oh my God, I stubbed my toe and I fell in a vat of acid hilarity. Like, it's not outlandish. It's it's a coming of age story.
It is.
Falling in the vats of acid is comedy.
I don't know.
He's going from
I'm out of touch, man. I don't even know.
Roger Rabbit. He was going back.
Like, stubbing your toe is one thing, but that's a huge jump to jumping into acid.
He was thinking about the scene from Roger Rabbit with Christopher Lloyd.
Actually, it was a Rick and Morty episode I just watched.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah,
it was stuck in my head. That's
boring as I call it.
That's a good movie, Mark. That's definitely it disappeared. It came out. It did horrible in the box office.
Because it was like right around that same time. I think it was almost around the same time as the first Twilight, or right after the first Twilight. So Kristen Stewart, that was like a big thing at that point. So I don't know I can't remember exactly if it came around that same time, but it was kind of like one of those movies. Like you said, it came out. It kind of made a little tiny splash, but not a huge one.
Yeah.
It kind of faded away.
Forgotten about, really.
When it comes on randomly, or if I see it on demand or see it on, like, it's on TV, I'll watch it. And it's fantastic every single time.
Yeah. That's a good one, Mark. Love it. All right, Francia, what do you got? What do you got for us? You're the ender. You're the closer.
The closer?
Yes.
The
If
closer.
your movie's The Closer, that's going to be kind of hilarious.
Oh, it's The Accountant, starring Jeremy Hutzel.
Speaking of The Accountant,
That's a good movie, actually. So
It is. That's
It
an
was-
underrated
and-
movie.
it was a good movie. I think it billed itself as like a Jason Bourne, but it wasn't quite that good.
Yes.
right. Totally agree. Also, the love interest thing was
It kind
unnecessary.
of fell flat. There wasn't really any connection there.
Yeah, like when she tells the
Watching
story
it
about
felt like I was watching Jeremy Hutzel go on a date.
Well, that's why it's Jeremy Hutzel.
But
He's
no, so I'm going to switch from my earlier films, which are more in the comedy vein,
Mhm.
and moving over to sci-fi with my last one. And I think why it got dropped and not well received and big was issues on its distribution. There was some back and forth. I don't think in some areas it ever got a theoretical release, and that would be Annihilation with Natalie Portman.
I've been dying to see that. It's on Hulu, and I've been dying to watch it so bad. I've heard all good things, and
Did it come out around the same time as the what's her face there, Rachel Adams movie where she had the same
maybe
kind of
it's
thing?
the Arrival.
Yeah, it was around that same like time frame. So people were like, "Oh, it's just like Armageddon slash."
Speaking of
Yeah.
revival of Arrival was a fantastic science fiction movie as well.
I heard that too. Yeah.
But it got a little more publicity, mainly because it got a real release, where
Yeah.
Annihilation was kind of like shelved, and then kind of like Netflix kind of gave it a bump to get life, but then Netflix, because of that, wanted to show it at the same time as its theater release
Mhm.
on Netflix. And then there was debates back and forth with the theaters, and then in the U.S. they couldn't release it straight to Netflix because they needed it to be in the theaters for a certain amount of time. But then other areas like Europe got it immediately on Netflix.
I'm already confused and no one watches this movie.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But when I finally got to see it and came over to Netflix in the U.S. market, I thought it was fantastic. It's one of those like old school science fiction where it's not about action. You know, they show in the movies where the trailers you see like them like shooting and like monsters and stuff, but it's not really. It's like more of a psychological and about change, and like self-reflection. And the ending, like my favorite sci-fi movies, ends in kind of an ambiguous way where it doesn't have a nice tidy ending. It's not like the hero loses. It's not like the enemy wins, but it's kind of like this thing where it's a change that's happening. And
Don't
you're
say
not quite
anymore.
sure
Don't ruin it.
if it's good or bad, but it's a great movie. It makes you think. The special effects are pretty good, and Natalie Portman I thought was really good. And I'm sorry, the other actor's name
Is Oscar Isaac's in it?
Oscar Isaac is in there.
Yeah,
is the other. He's like
Yeah.
the other mainish character, even though he's who they're like looking for.
Yeah.
But they have like flashbacks and videos and stuff like that.
Did it come out the same year or right after Force Awakens?
Around the same time,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
2018.
Yeah, now I'm remembering it. Okay.
But if you haven't seen it, I totally recommend seeing it.
I'm going to watch it this weekend, John.
Oh,
because you-
okay, Brian.
I'm going to watch. I'm going right now. I'll see you guys later. No, I really been dying to see that. It's on my queue. Like I added it to my stuff, and I got to get to it.
No, it's good.
But it makes me want to watch it even more now. I think this would be a good list, gentlemen. I mean, sometimes it's great to talk about things that maybe gets lost, and so much content comes out. Honestly, every fucking day, 5 things leave my head because 5 new things just came out. I can't keep track of it all.
It's there's also so much like stuff that's come out that there's so many things that came out back when the world was where it was.
Yeah.
Where so many things would come out, you couldn't see it all, and then you'd forget about it, and you forget about like 1 or 2 of those movies you just forget to watch because because you'd have a group of movies that came out, and then another group of movies that come out, and then another group of movies that come out, and you just
I'll say
shelved.
one thing kind of nice about this whole thing is we get a break from some of these big movies, and a lot of this content, we just get a break, and it's kind of nice because you have time to watch it now and enjoy it. And I feel like it's almost a mad dash rush to the next thing. You get through one thing, and everybody's already talking about the other thing. And I'm so many years behind. So for me, this is pretty good. Even though I still haven't caught up in a lot of things.
That I have that feeling. I stay way behind on TVs and stuff like that, other than like the MCU movies, which I go more as a social event to Kate. That's what keeps me current with them. All the other ones, I kind of like catch them as they fall into whatever streaming services I have. But even in the video games, like it is like relentless. Like, so me, Dan, and Jeremy have gotten back into Call of Duty. And it's like we're just getting to a point where we're comfortable with this game. Like, and then it's like, oh, well, the Call of Duty for this year is coming out. And it's like, and then they're like, oh, well, the new Assassin's Creed's coming out.
Yeah.
Everything is like they make the games longer and more immersive, but still give you a game every year.
Yeah.
And there's so much of it. I find that a lot of the games I get, even though I like them a lot, I end up not completing them and then moving on to another one.
I still have a stack of games I haven't even touched yet.
I've been going through my back catalog. I play one game. I played it until I beat it. That's it. Unless
Speaking of games like you were talking about, the Resident Evils, redoing the old ones, Rockstar's been dropping hints that they're redoing the original Red Dead.
Why? No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to redo original Red Dead.
I heard one rumor, and I don't know if it's true.
They're working on Grand Theft Auto 6.
I know, but they have a group that's working on. They're releasing something this year, but they won't say what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I heard some rumors that they were going to make a open world game like Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto set in the Middle Ages.
And I've heard
almost like an RPG.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is post-production GTA 6. But yeah, I mean, I don't. If they do anything, well, the map is.
Are you all right there? Like you're having like a seizure.
He's not liking the idea of it. That's
no. I don't want to say anything to spoil anything. But the Red Dead map exists in current and new gen anyway. So
I know, but their story, they're saying you can play the story, so you'd have the prequel and the original in the same.
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
I don't think that's
necessary.
I don't think they're going to do that. Rockstar seems to go forward. They don't really remaster anything. So I don't know.
I don't know.
They could have a sub company making a remaster.
It would make sense to cash in off Red Dead 2 if the kids that didn't play Red Dead 1.
But it does seem like it's been a long time since the last Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
And it Grand Theft Auto's. They did say the next one's going to be smaller in scale, but it's
They
we're
kept
probably
5 online forever, isn't it?
It's still online. They're making buco buck off of that. So the next Grand Theft Auto probably won't be until another 5 years. So
I'm off asleep.
Another 5 years for the next Grand Theft Auto?
yeah, probably. I mean, they're in post production. They're just putting stuff together. You know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Rockstar.
That's like a whole generation of gamers from like the last game.
Yeah, but the last gen we got Grand Theft Auto 5. This gen we got Red Dead 2, and then the next gen we'll have GTA 6. They can do whatever they want because
they're going to make money on it no matter what, anyways.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
They're still releasing new content.
It's always in the top 10. It's always in the top 10 every week, every month. It's still being sold. They're making buku buck online, and it's one of the biggest media products of all time. It beats out movies, books,
crazy,
all video games. It is like the number one media bot product. I mean, they literally have carte blanche to do anything, and they make great quality products. So I don't care how long it takes as long as it's good. And who knows what they'll do. But All right, gentlemen. I don't know what we'll do next week, but I think it's been a good show. I think we rocked the cash bot, as they say.
As the kids would say.
As the kids would say. It's weird seeing you at work, Mark, because
You won't see it again for a while, so enjoy.
yeah, I know. It's like a weird piece of normalcy.
I know, isn't it? It's like a weird, like driving in today, I was like, this is strange.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have to go into work on Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're going back like a couple days a week, or you're just going?
I just have a high priority item, and because it has
online.
no, it's because there's too much visibility on it. I can't leave it just to my employee. I have to be present as well.
You got to get a haircut. You should show up like that, John.
Or do your
I
hair.
am.
That would be-
Freaking Mountain Dew shirt.
Although while I'm here, I am grabbing my dice, so we can D&D again.
We need to.
I talked to Hutzel, and Hutzel said he could put Zoom on his phone. He's got a smartphone. or
Yeah.
something. I don't
John
know.
is on his phone. John can show him.
Something like that.
But this is Hutzel we're speaking of here.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is very true.
This is very true. He's
Yeah, Bobby can just play as his character like he's auto-tuned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll just have to find a time when Jay's like not working or whatever he's doing.
I don't even know where Jay is, or what he does. You know what's going on with him.
What is Jay?
What is Jay? Right. What is a Jay?
What is Jay?
Yeah, he's been really busy with work because he works in logistics and shipping.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, Jen. I'm gonna stop recording. We'll be back, we'll be back next week with some other list of some sort.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.